Hello, beautiful people. If you are anything like me, you've never been good at PvP, literally no matter what the game might be. And after the rise of the Angry Earth DLC, some artifacts got added to the PvP reward track. And there are quite a few of them, 7 to be exact. If that seems out of reach, don't worry, I've got your back. What I'm saying is if you find yourself behind, yes, it's going to be a heck of a grind, but I've got some tips that will ease your mind. That's enough chitter chatter, let's get to the info. I know you're ready to give PvP a go. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. First things first, if you're wondering what the PvP reward track even is, let me explain it to you real quick. Everyone loves a quickie. Under your character tab, you're going to see that it says PvP. Give that bad boy a click. You'll see the rewards on the bottom and your current level at the top, in the middle. I'm level 7 right now for reference. Well, level 8. But as you can see, I am right there with you in the trenches. I literally never did PvP until the artifacts came out, so don't worry, I'm not going to judge you. This is a judgment-free zone. Unless you like pineapple pizza, then I have many opinions about your life choices. Every time you complete a PvP activity, you get PvP experience. This unlocks checkpoints on the PvP reward track. Each track has 3 reward checkpoints, and then you can complete it to start a new track. You don't have to buy anything if you don't want to, and trust me, sometimes you might not want to because you're going to need all the Azov salt that you can get. That's right, we love the salts. And yeah, I happen to live in Florida. Anyways, completing your current PvP reward track by getting a new one will increase your level by, you guessed it, 1. And that's your PvP track level. This is important for us to know because it's going to tell us what artifacts we could get. And yes, I said could get. So what happens with the artifacts is they don't just automatically appear when you hit the PvP track level for them. If an artifact can be obtained at track level 20, that means there's a chance for it to randomly appear as a reward from that level onwards. So no, you're not going to hit level 20 and just get to buy your artifacts. It's not guaranteed right away because where's the fun in that? This means that you're going to want to have at least 50,000 Azov salt once you hit those levels that you need saved up so that you can buy an artifact on the track if it shows up. And yes, that is a lot of salt. They are artifacts after all. Oh, and you're gonna need to be level 61 or higher as well, but that shouldn't be a problem because you're an absolute legend. While we're on the topic of artifacts, these are the ones that you can unlock from the PvP reward track. So yeah, a bit of a grind. Time to move your behind and get some experience. How does one do that exactly? Wow, what a great question. The best way to get PvP experience without actually PvPing is to complete PvP faction missions. In Great Cleave, the faction representatives are going to only give you faction quests in an area that is just a hop and a skip away from the settlement. The missions are really easy too. They're usually just things like looting chests or standing in an area for a certain amount of time. The only real catch is that you cannot fast travel, you're going to have to ride there. The pros of doing this are the PvP experience, of course, and the faction tokens, which you can really never have enough of. The cons, this is a high traffic area because everyone needs to get PvP experience right now while everything is still new. That means that your enemies are everywhere. I would recommend finding a friend or 2 or 20, okay no, and riding out together. Strength in numbers should help save you from stranger danger. Is this fun? No, not even a little bit. Is it efficient? Oh yeah, it is. If all you care about is knocking out the track, this is the way. If faction missions seem like too much of a snooze fest and you want a little more excitement in your life, a fun way to get some delicious PvP experience is by participating in the daily influence races. Essentially in an influence race, green and yellow gang up on purple in open world PvP and we still kick butt and take names. I'm kidding, kind of. So if you go to the map on the left side, you're going to see something that says conflicts. Give that button a love tap and you'll see what activities are planned for that day. Influence races are nice because you can show up and leave whenever you want, and they also don't last very long, which is probably something a lot of you can relate to. For 45 minutes, the factions run around and try to capture the fort and towers around a certain territory. If you help capture a fort or tower by standing near the capture point, you'll get a big booty PvP track experience drop. You can get more experience by fighting the enemies and helping your faction mates take them down. But wait, there's more. If you participate at the end of the race, you're going to get a mega dumpy PvP experience drop. It's like the icing on the cake. Influence races are fun and literally no pressure PvP situations because of the sheer number of people involved, so go ahead and type X race in your faction chat and get your experience. So what's the downside? Well, influence races only occur a few times a day. Some days there's one race and some days there's 4, so what else can you do when that's not an option? Outpost Rush is going to be another good source of PvP experience for my fellow non-PvPers who find themselves forced into PvP. If you haven't played before, Outpost Rush is a 20 vs 20 crossover PvP game mode where you basically play capture the fort. Just run around and fight for control of the 3 forts in the game, help capture the control points, and just in general kick butt and take names. I really like this game mode. I think it's nice because you have so many other people on the team. It lets you figure out what's wrong and what's right with your build without any pressure. In this game mode, you are free to do the best that you can do, and that's okay. And my advice, use ruby gems because fire damage is a witch. So at the end of the match, you're going to get PvP experience based on how you performed. 500 if you didn't do very good, and 2,000 if you score 3,000 points or higher on the losing team, and 2,500 if your team wins. That is some big booty PvP experience, and the fun per hour factor is thicker than a Snickers. Not great at fighting? That's okay. Healing is a really good way to get points in OPR. So is capping the first back fort and building doors. Just don't build the highest tier door or you're probably going to get flamed. Oh, and I just have to say really quick, for the love of everything good in the world, go to Baron. The amount of people who ignore Baron is too dang high. Baron is an angry cave ghost, and the team that deals the killing blow freezes the score of the other team for a few minutes. That's huge. I'm sorry, I just had to get that off of my chest. And that's it. So there are other ways to get PvP experience. You could do arenas, but this is a guide for non-PvPers who need to do PvP, and in arenas, you kind of need to have your ish together. You and your friends can also queue arenas in 2 groups of 3 to face each other and take turns winning, losing to boost your experience. Doing that is really good PvP experience, but it's really boring, and I'm a huge fan of just playing the game. You can also just run around with PvP on and go looking for a fight, but that's going to be slow, and if you just want to focus on getting tracks done, that's not the play. You can also participate in a war, but they can be kind of choosy, and you might not always get in. If you just spend your time on faction missions, influence races, and OPR, you're going to get your tracks completed in no time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, share, and most importantly, be kind to one another. See you next time, friends.